Hello, welcome to this very gentle chair yoga class for seniors. We begin our classes with some mindful breathing, and then we do some stretches to open up areas that might be tight from not being used or not being stretched. And then we do a little bit of work to strengthen our core, strengthen our legs. So see if you can settle into your chair with your knees over your ankles and your shoulders over your hips. You might roll your shoulders up and back, relax them down away from your ears. And as we do our mindful breathing, you can choose to keep your eyes open with a soft gaze down towards the floor, or you can close your eyes and really move inside to pay attention to how the breath feels in your body. So whatever you're comfortable with, set yourself up and then begin to breathe with awareness. And what I mean by that is just notice, kind of layer that curiosity on your breath. Noticing how it feels as it moves in through the nostrils and down the throat and into the chest. You might observe that it's shallow or that it's deep, that it's choppy or smooth. And no judgment, no trying to change it, just noticing what's present for you. Letting go of thoughts, if you can, that kind of bring you away from this present moment, this place of your practice this morning or this afternoon, whenever you might be watching this video. Kind of letting go of to-do lists, letting go of worries, letting go of expectation or anticipation. Keeping the mind's eye on the sensation of breath. So we'll take 3 more of these breaths before we begin to move. And after your 3rd breath out, open your eyes if they were closed. And find that nice tall spine. We're finding ourselves in what we call seated mountain pose, or in Sanskrit, Tadasana is the yogic term for this nice tall spine, this aligned bones, shoulders over hips, knees over ankles. And we're going to begin with some big sun breaths. So bring your arms down by your side, maintain that nice tall spine, and on an inhale, sweep your arms out and up overhead if you can get them there. Go as high as you can if you can't get all the way up. And then turn your palms away as you exhale and float your arms back down to where they began. And we'll do 3 more of those. Inhaling, filling up, moving slowly and mindfully. You might even feel your arms moving through the air. Exhale, let it go. And 2 more, inhaling to fill up, palms turn up towards the ceiling as you float your arms up. And then turning the palms out so they can turn down on the way to your sides. Once again, 1 more time, inhale, fill up. And exhale, let it out. So we're going to take a lateral stretch, which means we're going to stretch one whole side of our body. So taking your right hand, either letting it dangle down by your side or supporting yourself with your hand on the seat of your chair. Take your left arm out to the side, palm up. And if you can get your arm all the way up towards the ceiling, great. But if that's not possible, bring your hand to your head or maybe to your shoulder. And we're going to take a lean to the right. So a nice breath in and exhale, take that lean. And again, your hand is either reaching to the right side of the room or resting on your head or resting on your shoulder. You're feeling this nice opening through this left side of your body. So take 2 big breaths here. And your next inhale will bring you all the way back up. Maybe the arms reach overhead and then the left arm comes down, holding the chair or letting it dangle. Right arm as high as you can get it or resting where it's comfortable, and then taking a lean to the left. This time, breathing into the right side. Big breaths. You might feel the expansion of the ribs on that side. And when we're doing this nice stretch, we're stretching these intercostal muscles, these little muscles between our ribs. And when we open those up, we allow more space for the lungs to expand. On an inhale, bring yourself all the way back up, and then bring your hands down onto your lap. Take a nice breath in and shrug your shoulders up. And then sigh it out as you let the shoulders relax. One more of those. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice. So our next movement will be a twist. And when we do twists, we don't want to force ourselves into twists. We're working these muscles that wrap our ribs, making them a little stronger. And those muscles are really important in balance and stability. So to do this twist, you can take your right hand, again, either on the side of the chair, or if you can reach behind you, let it come behind your right buttock. And take your left hand to your right thigh. Maintain a nice tall spine, and then take a breath in, and then rotate to the right. And it might not be a big rotation. You're moving through the ribs and the shoulders and letting the head turn as far as it's comfortable to turn. And then taking big breaths here, 2 big breaths. On your next inhale, come back to center. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So right hand, or left hand, sorry, either on the chair or behind you. And now with the right hand on your left thigh. Nice tall spine. Exhale into a rotation. Letting the head turn as much or as far as is comfortable for you right now. A couple of big breaths. And then bring yourself back to center. Next breath, arms are going to reach as high as you can comfortably go. Legs are going to get really strong here, so engage your legs and engage your core. So that means draw your navel in towards your spine, and we're going to take a seated ragdoll. So a nice breath in, and on your exhale, reach your arms forward and fold over your thighs. Let your head relax down if that's comfortable. And if that's not comfortable for you, you can take your forearms to your thighs, kind of support your upper body on your legs with your forearms, and then let your head turn down, relax the shoulders and the neck. You might nod a little bit or shake your head gently. And take a couple of big breaths in this seated ragdoll. So if you're not supporting yourself with your forearms, your hands might be down, kind of dangling on the floor, or you might be holding opposite elbows. All the time being aware of engaging your core. That means drawing your navel in towards your spine. And relaxing. Nice big breath in. And a big sigh out. From here, wherever you are, bring yourself up. So maybe the arms come out wide as you come up, or if your hands are on your thighs, press yourself up. Coming back to that seated mountain, roll your shoulders up and back. And do those rotations a few times, just rolling the shoulder, bobbling the head, switching direction. Those shoulders are going to roll forward now. And then pausing here. We'll work a little bit on the mobility in your neck. So maintaining a nice tall spine as always, and as if there's a little marionette string at the top of your head. Let the crown of your head float nice and tall. Tiny little tuck of the chin back. So you're not going way back, but a tiny little tuck. Keeping the back of the neck long. Nice breath in. And on an exhale, turn your head to look to the left. Inhale, come back to center, and on an exhale, turn your head to look right. And just float from center to center to the other side with your own breath. And just notice if your neck is stiff or tender, sore. And if it is, just honor whatever stopping points and barriers that might keep you from going all the way. If you feel that you should be going further and you can't, just honor where you are. And you might find that over repetition, there's a tiny bit more mobility with each turn of the head, but don't force it. Try to stay relaxed. Come back to center. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, nod your chin to your chest. And as you inhale, bring the chin up. So when we bring the chin up, we're still thinking about that marionette string pulling the crown of our head up. So the back of our neck is staying long as we lift our chin. And when we exhale, we bring the chin back down. Shoulders are staying relaxed, and we're just moving with our breath up and down. We might feel this back of the neck, the shoulders, or even as far as the upper back. Depends upon how stiff or tight you might be. And then pause when your chin is parallel to the ground. So we're going to begin to work the spine, undulating the spine, by doing a few seated cat and cows, which moves the spine and gets spinal fluid flowing. So hands stay on your lap, and on an inhale, bend at the elbows, lean the heart forward, keep that navel drawn in. And the heart and the gaze can move upward as the shoulders draw back. And then on an exhale, straighten your arms and press your shoulder blades back to the back of the chair and tuck your chin. So you might imagine you're just a nice little arch in the upper back here, rounding the upper back, and then bending at the elbows, coming forward and lifting the heart. So we're just undulating the spine here to the degree that feels right. It doesn't have to be intense. A nice gentle undulation, and any form of movement that you can do helps the fluids in the body flow to the places they're designed to flow to, right? So a couple more, moving with your breath. Nice. And then coming to a nice tall spine, that seated mountain pose. And we'll begin to work a little bit into the hips. So you might bring your feet a little wider and rest your hands on your lap. And begin to circle your upper body over your lower body. We're moving from these hip creases right here. Again, these circles can be large or small. And as always, that navel is drawn into the spine. So our core is a stabilizer. And so being mindful of it in all of our movements, trying to keep it working, engaging, which will also strengthen it. Notice what direction you're going in, and then reverse direction. Keep nice full breaths as you do this. And then pause and come to a nice tall spine. And bring your feet a little closer, so your knees are over your ankles. And lift the right foot off the ground. So you can hold in front of your knee, behind your knee, or just free flow into little circles. And then reverse direction. And then hug your leg in, give a nice little squeeze, and roll your ankle. And switch direction. And then point and flex. And point and flex, just bringing movement into the top and the bottom of the foot. And then we're going to come into a seated pigeon. So there are a variety of ways that you can get into this posture if you can't get your ankle on your thigh. If you can, flex your foot and bring your ankle to your left thigh. This can be challenging if you haven't done it in a while, if your hips are really tight. So there's a number of things you can do. You can extend that left leg and bring your ankle along your shin, or even just cross at the ankle. Another alternative, if you have a block, you might take that block right up against the shin of the left foot and just rest the outer edge of the right foot and just let that hip open up. So anything you can do to just let that leg open up and open up the hip without forcing and certainly not allowing any pain. No matter where you are in this position, here or here, or back up here, if you feel it would be good for you, you might take a little lean forward. But if you encounter pain, just back out of it. You don't want pain, just a nice, healthy stretch. Keep breathing into that right hip. Making space on your inhale and relaxing on your exhale. And then draw yourself back up. And we'll move to the other side. So I'm just going to put this block on this side so I can demonstrate that next. But take the left foot off the ground, draw those circles, and then reverse direction. And then hug in and rotate the ankle. And switch direction. Point and flex. And then keeping that ankle flexed, you have those options. Maybe the foot gets to the right thigh, or along the shin, or cross at the ankle. Or we have the block, if you have one. This knee is bent, the block is against your shin, and your outer left foot now is the curve of the arch is kind of hugging your calf. And you're letting this hip open up here. Again, from here or from any other alternate modification, you can decide whether or not a little lean would be good for you. And breathing, nice deep full breaths. And inhaling yourself back up. Great. Bringing your foot back down, and we'll begin to work a little bit for our core and for our legs. So we're going to sit nice and tall. I like to move a little further forward in my chair. When I do these, we're going to march. And so it'll be a little bit of an aerobic effect for you as well. So we're going to start simply by marching with our feet, arms down by our sides. Core is engaged, we're sitting nice and tall. And then, if you would like, we will add arms. So opposite arm, opposite arm. Just kind of marching. Imagine yourself standing up and doing one of those military marches. Keeping that core engaged, maintaining a nice tall spine. And breathing all the way. One more on each side, and then bring it down. Great. So now we're going to work our quads, these big muscles in the front of our leg, at the same time working our core and doing a little bit of alternate movement, different sides of the body at the same time. Again, so we're going to take one leg, and we'll take our right leg first, out, flex, and you're engaging your quadriceps here as the opposite arm reaches forward. And then bringing it back, extending and flexing, engaging that quad, and coming back down. So here is the second one on each side. We're going to 5. Here's 3, and 4, and 5. And then, from here, we are working our legs. Let's do a little bit of work on our calves. So we're going to take our left leg forward, rest on our heel, bring the heel to the ground, and glide down towards our toes as far as you can go, and then point and flex. So you're pointing and flexing, and you might feel this in the back of that left leg. Big flex and then a point. You're going to feel it in your ankle as well. And then glide that foot back and send the other foot forward. You're on the heel, the toes are pulled back towards your nose. A nice fold to the degree that you can, and just point and flex. And this is probably going to be felt in your calf muscle. And then come back your feet are flat on the floor, and what we're going to do is roll onto the balls of our feet, back down, and lifting the balls of our feet. So we're rocking forward and back, getting into our ankles and our feet. So this is not only stretching those muscles that we don't stretch enough, but it's also strengthening them. So moving up and down. Great. And our last movement will be 2 rounds of a seated sun salutation, which works all the big muscles in the body. So the arms are down by our sides. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, find cactus arms or goalpost arms. Take a breath in and lean slightly forward. Exhale, take your hands to your lap, glide over your knees and down towards your ankles. Now, once again, if supporting your upper body is important to you, you might take your forearms to your thighs, but if not, let the arms dangle and let your head turn down. On an inhale, sweep your arms wide. Really engage that core. Come all the way back up to seated mountain. And one last round. Inhale overhead, and then exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, glide yourself all the way down. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold that down. On your inhale, sweep your arms wide, come all the way back up. Press your palms together, bring your hands to your heart. You can nod your head towards your fingertips. And just dive inside, as I like to say, just feel the effects of these movements on your body, the rotations and the lateral extensions, and the core work and the work on our legs, our ankles, our feet, and even into our hips. So we've moved in ways that open up energy channels, open up the channels through which fluids flow in our body. And we've even opened up the muscles that allow the lungs to expand so that we can get even more oxygen into our system with each breath. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. We usually end with what we call Shavasana, which is sitting very, very quietly, comfortably, for just a few moments. So you might sit in your chair, extend your legs, rest your hands on your lap, let your chin go to your chest if you're comfortable. Or if you're able to get down on the floor or onto a couch, find a place there. Our Shavasana is our posture where we are still as we can be and quiet as we can be, so that the movements that we've just done and the benefits of those movements can integrate into our system. We can digest them and let them do their magic for us. So you can stay in this posture of Shavasana for as long as you like, only moving when you're ready. So until next time, namaste.